If you're on a phone or a tablet right now while you're listening to this episode, go to your app store and download the Couch to Active app. It really is the easiest way to listen to the podcast. Hey there, friends. It's your bed couch guru, Lynn Lemberg. And with me today, I have Heather Denniston. She is our friend who is doing the jump rope challenge and has a group that is smoking hot on Facebook right now. It's been so fun to watch. That's a side thing Heather does in addition to her real day job. Her real day job.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to give Heather an opportunity. First of all, Heather, welcome to the Couch to Active podcast. Good to have
Thank
you
you.
here. Yeah. And can you do first of all, a quick introduction of who you are and what your business is? And then I'd
Yeah.
love to have folks hear your story, because if they're watching this on video, most of them will make the incorrect stereotype that you've always been super fit and lean your whole life and all of this has been easy for you. So we're going to help folks know that you're a real human just like us. So,
Well, thank you so much, Lynn. I so appreciate being here. I love your podcast, and it's an honor to join you. And I also love how you have such a great message about going at your own pace, staying in your own lane, and just loving your body no matter where you're at. And I love the idea of acceptance and hope for any kind of change that you want to put in front of you, if that's something that you strive for. So thank you for doing that. It's awesome. I love all of your stuff you put up. I'm a chiropractor by trade. I practiced for 25 years in a very busy practice, and suddenly those four walls got a little tight for me. So I moved into the online space with my company, Well Fit and Fed, and I do a bunch of things. And the main thing I do is I typically work with corporations or leaders working to bridge the connection between personal well-being and professional success. And so I do that by working one-to-one, working with small groups, doing short presentations all the way up to full day offsite presentations. And so that's what I do now. And you asked a little bit about my story. Well, as it is for everyone, it's been a long journey.
well, I knew you for more than a year before I knew your story, and I made the wrong assumption that you were just lean fit. This has always been easy, and then I learned your story, and I thought, okay, wow, let's spread this a little further.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how we go through life and we meet people, and the more we run up against that, the more we're like, oh yeah, I have to, and this me too. I have to not assume where somebody has come from, right? Yeah. So my
Yeah.
story is, well, when I was 9, I grew like a Mastiff puppy in 6 inches in 1 year. And unfortunately, it's tricky because Mastiff puppies do not do back handsprings on the beam. And I was a competitive gymnast. And so I quit and I focused on my other sport, which was Olympic caliber binge eating. And I did the closet eating thing before there was a name for it. And like
Uh-huh.
literally in my closet. And anyways, by the time I hit college, I was close to 235 pounds. And I can remember standing in the shower at 20, bawling my eyes out because it wasn't the weight, but now I was having thyroid, Raynauds, digestive issues, arthritic issues. And I thought, you know what? If I don't turn this Titanic of health issues around, it's going to be such a long road for me, and not one that is joyful, happy, or pleasant in any way. And so I started to study, and that took me into loving learning about the body, and I became a chiropractor and a personal trainer, and I got a certified wellness expert designation, and it didn't turn around right away, as is true for everybody. I'm sure it is always just constantly shifting and changing how you're approaching where you're at right in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so over the years, as I started to work with patients, I started to kind of apply some of the things that I learned, and that's what brought me to where I am now.
So, Heather, for folks who are either 20 and 235 or
Yeah,
whatever weight, right?
wherever you're at.
Whatever. Or 50 or 60 and just kind of at that spot, what advice would you have for them, if any, for their first, like the next step?
Yeah, there's two things I always start foundationally with clients, and that is something I call energy leakage liabilities. And all that is let's go through all of the aspects of your life and see where you are spilling energy unnecessarily.
Mm.
Relationships, schedule, things that you are just doing out of obligation. And let's clean that up first, because if we start to try to add healthy eating and workouts and mindset and all of those things, it's just going to be burdensome, right? And
Yeah.
so let's examine that first, because if we're spilling energy in all sorts of ways that are not healthy, then that's where we need to start. And then the second thing is I'm a big advocate for curating what I call your wellness pit crew. And that is we live in a time where I think it's almost impossible for us to do this on our own. And so finding the neighbor who's going to hold you accountable to hiking on Saturday, a chiropractor or trainer or whoever it is for you, a series of about 3 or 4 people who can surround you, support you, and encourage you in your goals. They provide resources and expertise that maybe you don't have. And the one caveat to that is my feeling is that your wellness pit crew should not include your closest friends, spouse, partner, because they're super vested with where you're at right now. They love you just as you are. And
Yeah.
if you're wanting to grow and expand, sometimes they're attached to where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And so not that's the bad thing. It's wonderful that they love you as you are, and that's great. But as we grow and expand, sometimes we need to draw some leaders, guides, mentors who are a little further along than us on our journey.
I love that because change is hard and change is scary. And so
Change is scary.
whether it's
Yeah.
good change or bad change, the people in your life are like, okay, what's going
Yeah. What's
on?
happening? Yes, so true. And same with us. We get attached to where we're at, and sometimes we don't realize that until we have this big shiny goal of, yes, this is what I want. But as we move toward it, we're like, "Ooh, wait, this is uncomfortable."
Yeah.
And so it is important to have that support and resources available to you.
So folks who are want to learn more about you, where do we send them?
Yeah, all of my social platforms are well fit and fed,
Mm.
and the place to reach me is Instagram message. I always consider these kinds of things a beginning, not just a one-off. I love building relationships with people who I've come in contact with, so message me there, and then all the other social platforms are the same as well. And I would love to connect with any of your listeners. You have a great group of people who you speak to, and that's
Yeah.
fun. I
Really
love that.
loyal group. They
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, great. Thank you so much, Heather. Really appreciate you coming on a second time.
Well, thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate it, and keep doing what you do. You're putting out great stuff into the world.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
If you haven't been to the Couch to Active website yet, you are missing out. Head on over there now, couch2active.com, and learn about how I can help you get that active lifestyle finally going in a way that'll also help you smile. How great is that? couch2active.com.